Hello, welcome back everybody to the Game Life channel. I am your host, Bighit. Let's talk city skylines. What we're going to do today is talk about zoning and zoning specifications. In order to get that though, we have to go ahead and build a little bit here. So what we're going to do is we're going to knock out some roads. Again, we're going to build in one way just like we did last time. We're going to try to make it as symmetrical as we can, because it just looks better that way. But keep in mind, this is all going to be probably destroyed at one point. So okay, so we're going to go ahead and build some roads here. And to kind of summarize, generic industries create a lot of pollution, and in early cities you want people to come and live there. So if it's polluted and you live too close to that crap, they don't want to make your industries or anything the least polluting. They have to be the highest level, which is a level 5. There's only one way you can do that in the industry side, and that is by specific district specializations. So generic is your generic industries. You know, they produce plastics, bottles, glass, crap that pollutes. And we'll see here as we go on, it pollutes quick. So we're going to get our population up to 1,000, and then we are going to make some districts. I'll start off the first area. I usually make it a county. The first couple big squares a county, and then individualize the districts from there on out. But so that's how we'll do it. So we're going to build some roads and get them zoned off and started. So we'll go ahead and do that real quick, and then we will pick up from there. All right, well, we're got some roads built here, and the zones will be coming along pretty quick. When it comes time to take care of garbage and health, which is going to be also kind of semi-covered with this, I usually don't like to put the landfills and power plants and stuff close like this, but I'm really trying to save money due to early city don't have much. As you can see, there's only $4,745 right now, but we're going to get that raised up. We've made our one-way roads. You can see I got to fix a couple of them, and also in this video we're going to cover changing the directions of the roads to a certain degree. And I'm only going to do it to help traffic flow early, so we don't have to cover that issue now when we're trying to do this stuff. So what we're going to do is go ahead and get some more zones in here. We've got plenty of residential. I think we're going to mimic the commercial on the other side, and eventually move the industrial over more towards the middle, the residential more out. Because once I place the landfill, which we're not too far away, but once I place it, it is going to only be moved or be able to be moved once it is empty, and it just takes a long time, and you almost have to have an incinerator to do it, or another landfill way away, which then interrupts the flow of the garbage trucks, which will be probably something we'll cover later on down the road. Some of these issues we'll cover in my other city, just for demonstrative purposes, so we don't have to wait so long on this one. But I think we're pretty close to getting, let's see, let's go ahead and change the directions of these roads so they match, and they all are, well, American is the way the roads are going to face here, because USA, we don't drive on the left side, we drive on the right side. So I will mimic it as if it would be some mythical or fictionary city in the U.S., I suppose. I know that I'm going to name a few streets and things after a hometown and where I live now. So, but we're kicking now, and we're going to go ahead and let some of this population rise up, and then we will. Well, we're at 533 now, so yeah, we're gonna. Don't panic if your power and your lights and stuff like that go, because it's irrelevant unless it's just citywide. Now I'm going to go ahead and raise the budget a little bit and make sure that the new places have power, because as you grow it'll consume more. But the I won't panic until it actually affects the water, which it does pretty quick early on. And if you do, there's some power buffs, or not buffs really, but quicker ways you can deal with it. Let's see where we're at here. We've got some starting to grow. We're going to go ahead, and here's what I'm talking about. I don't like placing this dirty by where everybody's got to live. But I mean, garbage, if you get 10, maybe 15% of your population where you've got garbage piling up, and it says it takes a long time to clean it, and it affects your population quicker than you can clean it up. And the same goes with dead people. We're going to drop a couple clinics here in a little bit, because once they start getting sick, you can't instantly fix it with clinics like you can crime with police stations. You can drop a couple police stations and crime almost is immediately eradicated. It doesn't work that way with the sick. I mean, it keeps it kind of real with that. You get sick people, and more people get sick. You drop a couple clinics, and by the time they get around and do their deed, half people who were sick are dead. And then the dead people start piling up, and you don't even get to unlock the cemetery until probably your third, or well, it might be the next milestone after districts. But let's go ahead and let this stuff pop up. You'll see that I'll address the power and water issue a couple times. I will not document every time I go into the budget menu. I will just say that, and I'll put up a screenshot here in a minute and show you that yeah, taxes, I will leave taxes vanilla, because it will adjust taxes on its own due to population, and it will keep it at the absolute base level, no higher, no lower than what it would take to succeed. The only time I will adjust the actual taxes on places if I'm trying to juice up some dough and either boost population by lowering them, or boost the money off of what I got by raising them. But I won't leave it that way long, because it does have a trickle effect. It doesn't just raise the taxes. Yes, you make more money and the population drops pretty quick, but it doesn't just come right back. They stay gone. So yeah, let's go ahead and set some budgets here, and we will let her grow. We got a couple hundred more people to go before we actually unlock the districts that we are going to talk about. Alright, we hit Worthy Village, my friends, which unlocks a new area which I think I've got two now, districts, policies, second loan, district specializations, service policies, and a few parks and stuff like that. Now, when we need to use it, we'll discuss it. But let's go ahead and start painting this district. And we're going to paint the first big square, the first district. I'm going to call it a county. And once you fill in a whole, whatever it is you're calling it, a district, a county, a region, a province, depending on where you're from in the world, it will name itself. Every single one will name itself. It will not be that big a deal because you can rename everything. You can rename streets, cars, dogs, people, you name it. You can name buildings. I can name the wind turbines. So now that we've got the county built, so to speak, we're going to knock out our first district. And the reason being, like I say, is because we're going to need to make it a specialized deal early on. Keeps it helpful. And I'm going to make it forestry, even though you see no trees around it. It includes what's ever inside the dotted line. So we've got our first square knocked out, and I don't know why I have to have it almost perfect. But we are going to rename Sterling Square. We're going to rename it Broward County. We're going to rename this Fairfax because where I grew up, that was the name of the industrial area down on the river. But we're going to now make our second one here. Paint it in. It's kind of sloppy, but you'll see what I mean when I gotta touch it up. Poplar Heights. Okay, so we're going to kind of shorten these up a bit because they don't really need to be that big as of yay. But once we get her shortened up, we'll go in here and we'll rename them. We'll switch from the big paintbrush here in a second to make the edges a lot tidier. I'll be able to go in and make them almost perfectly square, which they don't need to be by any means. They can be anywhere from a kidney shaped area to just a dot. You can make you could have tons of little neighborhoods everywhere. But once you start getting into policies and district programs and all that stuff, a lot of it costs. Like if I wanted to do smoke detectors in Cedar Heights, it would be 5 cents per building. Or subsidized youth in Poplar Heights would be 5 cents per building. All right. So we've got our districts. We're going to go ahead and rename them. Let's go ahead and change it to Broward County. The keyboard doesn't show up, so you'll never see me change a name. It'll just switch. So Broward County is the county's name. Cedar Heights becomes Fairfax. It's going to be, eventually that whole region will be industrial. Poplar Heights now becomes Hawthorne. So we've got our districts. And now let's go ahead and specialization one of them here. Fairfax. Told you we're going to make it forestry. Here's what we got for forestry. It increases electrical consumption, tax income slightly. It uses forest, which is renewable. Next would be farming. Plains, fertile lands are ideal for agriculture and grazing. Increased water consumption considerably. Slightly increased tax income. Needs fertile land, renewable. Oil, not unlocked. It moderately increases ground pollution, moderately increases tax income. Both ore and oil, non-renewable. And then you have finally your generic industry, which is just basic dirty. It's dirty. That's a dirty industry. Well, anyway, so we're going to go over here and we're going to make it forestry. And here's just a quick rundown of what things cost and how much I'm paying as versus what I'm making. So I'm actually starting to make money now, as you can see, between the weekly total income and the total expenses. Not bad. it also will show you every instance of where your money's coming from, on what level of household industry, whatever you got. So now that we're back at it, we're making quite a bit of money. We're up to 70 grand. Pretty cool. Once you specialize in a district, especially when it comes to industry, even your commercial and such nots, the buildings will deconstruct and reconstruct themselves to the highest level. And automatically the cleanest, the most efficient, the best. So we're going to go ahead and I think we're going to go ahead and try to. The issue is that we have enough power. We're producing enough power. I just not budgeting enough. You see, traffic's not too bad. I will alter it a little bit before we're done, just simply because as I do the next part of all this, I won't want to have to mess with it then. So it'll be just easier to have what needs to be at the start. Water. We are out of water. Why are we out of water? There can only be one reason why we're out of water, and let me guess, it's going to be power. Yep, no power to the power pump. So we're producing 19 megawatts per hour. Need more. So but I think we should go ahead and drop what we need to. If we drop it after we raise it, we're just going to be adjusting our power again. So the first thing we're going to do is check out how well the clinics are going to do. Unfortunately, with the two-way roads, look, I'm limited at where it can go, but I think that's why we're going to probably just alter at least the center roads to be two-way. At least that way ambulances and garbage trucks and fire trucks and stuff don't have such a huge problem getting where they need to be. Because it will, believe it or not, we'll do some traffic views and check out how bad it is later on down the road, because I've had some cities that I've made that the traffic has been so bad that nothing can function, not even the people. So sometimes it's just easier to take care of it now. Alright, here's the supplemental power. This will actually help our available electricity, and now it also will mean that I can do smaller increments in raising the budget for power. And although it still adds more per overall because I'm added more pieces of electrical equipment into it, um, it takes smaller amounts to actually take care of it. You know, I mean, instead of raising it 5, I could raise it 2, and it may only save me a couple $100, maybe, and I haven't never done the math on it, nor will I, because if I have to do the math on the game for that, then it stops being a game and stops being a job, and nobody's paying me to do this. So we're just gonna guess it's only probably a couple $100, not enough to really make it worth, pollution wise, it's worth the only saving a couple $100 on it. But as you can see here, the electricity availability has gone up. Water availability will now go up, so everything will be taken care of on that front, and we will then start thinking about this little bit of crime, I guess. I'll figure out something to do about that too. Alright, we're gonna check out here. I think what we're gonna do is check our, well, I'm kind of curious as to what the pollution levels are over here. So let's traffic isn't bad, guys, so we're in this, especially even that light orange, that when we change it around, it'll fix it to a certain fix it what it need broke. But so we're gonna probably change some roads here too. Garbage wise, you can see not much garbage pollution, but the ground pollution is bad over here, and I'm sure the air pollution is not great either. But once we've changed this over, as you can see, it's not spreading. It'll pretty much be contained to just those 2 spots, which will be okay for now. Let's go ahead and change some roads up so we won't have to dick with it here in a little bit. We're going to go ahead and switch to the upgrade, and we're going to upgrade it to 2-lane. We're going to go all the way around with this. So let's go ahead and switch up some roads. I'm going to not go real slow. We'll do some, when we make some neighborhoods, we'll actually go over roads themselves and why and whatnot and how. Alright, we're pretty much getting close to done with the roads, and we have got our districts out. We've got one specialized district, which we will, as we grow, change that out. It will probably not always be industrial, but you can specialize in commercial too. Residential is not really called specialized residential. It's like more like high-tech housing, which is pretty cool once you switch an old neighborhood over that. Alright, well, we are getting pretty close to the end of the video this time. I thank everybody for watching and subscribing. Please comment on what you'd like to see, or if this is being any helpful, what videos you like the best out that I've posted so far. Not a lot of them, and I do got to apologize for the lack of content. It takes a lot to shoot the content, edit the content, and get it out, and raise a family and work and everything. But I try to do my best. I will not give you anything that I think is crap, so at least you got that going for you, I guess. So we're going to go ahead, let's say, we're going to drop a few service buildings, a couple clinics, a couple police stations, and let it do its thing. It almost, you will see that crime, once the police stations go down, crime almost disappears. So, but yeah, again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button, ring the bell for the notifications. We will be bringing you some more city skylines. I think we are going to cover landscaping on the next one, which is not going to be with this city. We're going to go ahead and use a dummy city and kind of just show you some of the cool nifty stuff that you can do with the terrain tools and all that. You know, you can make a mile high city, or you can make a below the sea level Louisiana style city. It's all up to what you want to do. But we are, see, look how happy that makes the people. That makes the people happy. And the need for residential's up. We're making money again. We're almost at 2,000 people. I think our next milestone's at 2,500 or 2,200. I'm not sure. But I think it's looking pretty good so far. Say again, comment below. Tell me what you think.